News from Second Sight Films is 2014's Creep, a low-budget found footage horror movie that I think is one of the best that's been out in recent years now. This is one of those films that, when I initially watched it, it took me a while to attune to what I was seeing because it's very careful with its pacing, because the performances are so terrifically delivered. I wasn't quite sure exactly what I was getting into. As we discover our two main characters, we have Joseph and Aaron. Aaron is a videographer who's come to do a job. One day's work, $1,000. It's too good to be true, almost. He meets Joseph, a rather strange and socially awkward person.
I feel like we should just do this right now because at the end of the day, it's going to be normal. So just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Trust me, that's not going to be anything weird at all.
As in the fact that he just doesn't feel awkwardness in social situations, often making Aaron feel very uncomfortable with his frankness. Joseph pretty much lays out the job. He has cancer, he's going to die, he's leaving a video for his unborn son so that he can show how much he loved him and give an idea of who his father was. Or that's at least what he's telling. As the film goes on, there is severe levels of uncomfortability as Joseph slowly pushes the boundaries of safety, of security, of what's right, into a terrifying version of realization. As Joseph slowly takes over Aaron, and Aaron realizes that he's in a strange place with a strange man who is acting very strangely, and there's no recourse for him to really get out of here easily.
Aaron, if I tell you something, would you promise me you would never tell another living soul? I need to get something off of my chest.
I love the fact that this is so lo-fi. You know, two guys, a camera, they have just made something that is incredibly effective. The way that they have these silent pauses that just seem to scream awkward yet build tension at the same time is marvellous. To see this twisted performance from Mark Duplass as Joseph, whom is just one of the character's most terrifying people. Terrifying because he seems so real, because he is calculating, because he will do anything, because this seems like a whole game to him, a twisted mind melting game to just mess with Aaron.
Are you just trying to scare me? Or okay, well I'm terrified, okay? You won.
And that's a kind of aspect of the film that I love. And when you watch the film repeatedly, you kind of see the moments where you understand what Joseph is up to, how he is taking someone who's so kind of honest and straightforward and who treats this as a normal relationship, unbeknownst to them, is being manipulated, pushed, cajoled into various levels of uncomfortable standing. You know, this is all about Aaron is almost the viewpoint for the viewer. You know, a lot of the time he's holding the camera, he's pointing it towards Joseph. Joseph is almost interacting with us, and you can feel that uneasy nature start to take over you. And it's so simply done, as it's just these two guys, that you feel the kind of tension arise just from various situations. There is very rarely any outgoing forces other than just these two gentlemen as they kind of interact, and it's that kind of conversation where they feel as if they're opening up and being honest into something that's more manipulative, into something that's more scary and more terrifying. There is a little bit of a bait and switch at one point where you're like, who is more dangerous here, I feel, at a certain point.
But in all fairness, I wasn't quite in my right head because, well, you did drug me.
But it all just comes to a terrific crescendo that repurposes a lot of what you've seen and just leaves the movie open for a wider universe, which they ultimately get to. And I'm really kind of hoping the Second Sight films push into the second film because I think that's even better than the first. Terrific. But yeah, Creep it's a film that slowly just takes over you. You know, you kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit socially awkward with it before it draws you into the characters and then starts to ramp up the creepy factor, the unease, that feeling that you just know something's not right. Marvellously done. Of course, Second Sight Films, they have rammed this full of wonderful extras. So let's dive in, have a look. Here we are in the disc for Creep. Let's go to the extras. First up, we have a brand new commentary with the director, editor and star. We have an archival commentary with the director and star. And we have Peach Fuzz, an interview with director Patrick Brits. And this is 36 minutes, 56 seconds, talking about how he met Mark Duplass, how they kind of worked on the kind of idea, the genesis of this, how the kind of process evolved through the collaboration, the whole idea of how this was originally called Peach Fuzz, which the title was wiped away straight away by Blumhouse. We have Into Darker Territory, interview with actor Mark Duplass, which is 18 minutes 54 seconds, and he talks a lot about the evolution of the process in this, how it started off as a kind of uncomfortable dark buddy comedy and slowly evolved into something more horror-centric, which was definitely not on their minds when they started making it, which I found to be a fascinating angle. Next, we have Expand Universe, an interview with the editor, Christopher Donlan. Again, this is 60 minutes, 9 seconds. He's talking a lot about how this started off as one thing and evolved into something different through the collaboration process. 10 Years of Creep, a live Q&A with the cast and crew, which is 30 minutes, 49 seconds. This is great because they're looking back at the project, how it evolved, their thoughts on it, sort of funny anecdotes and great crowd interaction as well. Then we have a deleted scene, a cold opening, which is 2 minutes, 1 second, and it is very much more horror-centric, and I think it would have made the film start off in a more kind of conventional horror way, so it's nice to see that they didn't use that. We have an alternative scene, Message to Aaron, which is 2 minutes 12, which is just an alternate kind of take of the message to Aaron after the first video he sends. Then we have alternate endings, which is just over 7 minutes, and yeah, they made the wise choice with the ending they went with. Also included in this set is a 70-page booklet. There are 4 essays in this from Kat Ellinger, Amber T, David Kittredge and Sarah Appleton. They're all very different but interesting in their own light, and it just rounds off another fantastic package from Second Sight Films. There we have it. Creep is a masterwork of found footage horror. It is scary, unnerving and unforgettable. And the extras on this disc just enrich everything. They give it more context, they give it more history, they just build this up into something that feels like lightning in a bottle, which is wonderful. I would love to know your thoughts on Creep. So let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, fall somewhere in the middle, whether you're picking up this package or the standard disc, and your thoughts on the sequel and the sequel series that has just been released as well. Really curious about that one, and something I'll probably dive into at some point. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.